Oh my God. Here we go. Let me bring this a little closer. Butter on toast. Butter on a slice of bread. Butter on a bagel. Butter on a muffin. Butter on a... whatever you want.
What about like a baked potato?
Leave. No.
What's up, Union fans? Welcome back to the DOOP presented by Subaru. I'm Sage Hurley. Over there we have Mark Evans.
Hey, Sage.
And the new kid on the block, Indy Vassilev. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well today. I got a coffee. Thank you so much. I got a vanilla cardamom latte.
That's right.
And it tastes fantastic, so I'm in a very good mood because I'm a very, very big coffee drinker.
So I grabbed you that coffee because I heard you're coffee crazed.
Mm-hmm.
What is your order in the morning? Do you get it out? Do you make it at home?
I wouldn't say coffee crazed. I don't want people to think that I'm an addict.
When you got here, the first thing I heard about you, they came in from your media shoot and said that you said the word coffee like 5 to 10 times.
Okay.
That was your buzzword.
So that's not a good look for me. I like my coffee. I think if you were to ask me, can I stop right now? I think I'd be able to. Slowly. But I think I'd be able to.
So when you say not, stop right now,
Yeah.
that's not true because you just said slowly.
Yeah, but I could stop after like a month or so. But yes, I do love my coffee. I usually make one in the morning when I get to the facility. We have this coffee machine, and I make a large cup of coffee. I put one small half and half, and then I put 2 pumps of the vanilla latte, I think it's Coffee Mate vanilla flavoring in there.
Okay.
And then that gets me through the morning, and then in the afternoon I usually have another one. That sounds bad.
Well, I heard you based where you were going to live here in Philly off of the amount of coffee shops nearby. True or false?
True. But that's just because that's how I grew up. When I was younger, I always had walkability to coffee shops, and
It's a very important part of a neighborhood.
yes, of course, coffee shops and grocery stores. I grew up in, when I was 13, I moved to IMG, and then when I was 16, I moved to England. And in England, it was very walkable. I could walk to a grocery store. I could walk to a lot of coffee shops, a lot of stores. And that for me was really important, just to be able to get out of the house and not have to get in the car and drive 10 minutes or 15 minutes to kind of relax. Like on my off days, I can just throw some clothes on, brush my teeth, then throw some clothes on, and just walk and get coffee.
Do you sit at a coffee shop when you go there, or do you get it to go?
Honestly,
I won't judge you either way.
Honestly, I love people watching, as I'm sure a lot of other people do. I
Love it.
I honestly don't think that's a crazy statement.
There's good
not at
people
all.
watching in Philadelphia. You came to the right place.
Yeah. And so I love people watching. So usually what I end up doing is I'll end up getting a coffee. I might bring a book sometimes as like
As a
kind of
prop.
like, yeah, as like the book's there, so people think that maybe I do read, which I do sometimes.
I was
but,
actually going to ask you that because you have a good vocabulary.
my issue is that I start books and I'll get like 3/4 of the way there and then I'll just kind of put it off to the side. Like the last book that I started reading and stopped reading is called The Revenge of the Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, who's my favorite author. I do like to read a lot of his books.
3/4 of the way through
Yeah,
that.
not all. Not the whole.
No. What I will say is I did finish the first 2 books I read by him, which is The Tipping Point, which he released in like 2001, I think. And then the other one that I read of his was called Talking to Strangers, which is kind of based around these small interactions you have with people on a day-to-day basis, and you make these assumptions about them, and you think you know them, but you really kind of don't. So those were 2 good books that I read by his, and then I started reading this one, and then I stopped finishing.
So those small interactions and going to get cups of coffee. And
Yeah.
I mean, people on the training field, if they watched you or even saw you around the annex, they would think you injected into your veins. But
Yeah.
Well,
We don't
he
know
didn't
you that
mention
well.
part yet. He only drinks 2 cups a day, but he injects 2 cups a day as well. So
Yeah, I should probably, after speaking about it out loud here, I should probably tone it down a little bit, but
no, it's okay.
I like my coffee.
We all do what we have to do to get through.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But in my first day finding out that you were coming to the Philadelphia Union, I was actually having a coffee talk with head coach Bradley Carnell. We do it on Thursdays every other week. And I was asking him about you because obviously you guys have a relationship. And I asked about you on the field. He was like, he's a really great locker room personality. And then brought up this article. He sent it to me later in the day. And here was the headline: "The best St. Louis sports personality isn't a Cardinal or a Blue. It's Indy Vassilev of City SC." Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one actually quite vividly.
So that was by Benjamin Hoshman.
Yep.
Not going to lie. It was behind a paywall. But yesterday.
The headline was awesome.
But Bradley sent it to me the day before the Orlando City game when we were about to go there. I wanted to read it, but I read it yesterday.
Nice.
So I'm excited for Philadelphia Union fans to start to learn a little bit about you and what makes you that sports personality. So let's kick it off. 3 words to describe yourself.
Ooh. Energetic, talkative, and I would say loyal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you always been this energetic pre-coffee?
Oh, yeah. I would say as a kid, I definitely would try and do too many things at once and not get anything finished. But yeah, I think since a kid, I've been very, very energetic. It took me some time to kind of open up and be as talkative as I am. But I do think in this business, you do need to have a personality, and you do need to, kind of show what you're about and be confident in yourself. And for me, my way of doing that was just talking.
So you played for quite a few clubs. Do you think your energy and your personality helped you adapt to those different situations and kind of fit in at the different places and the different stops you've had in your career?
Yeah, I think 100%. I think being a part of a team, I think one of the biggest things is trying to integrate yourself into a locker room, which is quite tough if you're shy and you're timid and you don't really want to open up and be yourself. I think it is quite hard to be a part of the team and to kind of create that banter between players. So yeah, for me, I have no issue kind of bearing it all and being myself. And yeah, if I get shit for it, then that's awesome. I feel like that's how you grow as a team, and that's how you get closer to your teammates.
Well, you could tell in the mic'd up video that's already starting to happen here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
There were some players you already knew, like Nate Harriel from the national team system. You've known him for a while, right?
Yeah, so me and Nate go back to when I played for IMG. He played for a team called Clearwater Chargers. And he won't mind me saying this. He wore number 1 as a field player.
That's a bold move.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? He was a field player wearing number 1. And I remember him because he was very good. So that was my first run with Nate, and then we kind of bumped into each other at a couple national team camps, which is awesome. But he's an awesome guy. Obviously happy to call him my friend, and I was super happy that he's here because he has made it much easier for me.
Then there's also some players that you didn't know at all, don't even speak the same language as you, and then you and Danley were jumping for joy in that clip.
Yeah. Danley's awesome. I guess I do have a soft spot for Danley as well, just because although I was in England and they do speak English there, there are times when you're in England and they speak English and you don't know what they're saying. He is trying. Like he tries to speak English, and he is trying to be integrated within the group, and he's doing such a good job at it. And so yeah, for me to have like playful moments with him on the field is super nice. And I try and learn French here and there, which it's obviously not going too well.
You have a couple people to learn from on the team. Danley, Bizo, Ale.
Yeah. But it's just, if I can put a small effort to make him feel more comfortable, I think it gives him, more confidence to try and be more comfortable with us.
That was such a cute clip of you guys jumping around.
Yeah.
But Mark's no stranger to the English people with accents. You wouldn't believe it, but Mark's English.
I was born in England, yeah.
Where?
Liverpool.
Liverpool?
So the Scouse accent is as hard as it gets to understand. So like all my family and friends still live over there, and it's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. And then when you get to some of the Newcastle accents are
it's brutal.
really tough. And then even in Birmingham, they're called the Brummie accent.
Yeah.
That's super tough too sometimes.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, it's super tough sometimes.
Indy's going to give us his best impression.
No.
No, it's not. He's not going to do it.
Sorry.
He's not. Exactly.
Okay, we'll warm up to it.
Maybe later in the episode, I'll try and give it a go.
Maybe that coffee starts to kick in a little bit.
Maybe.
You start shaking, like, grab the microphone. I'm ready. So we talked about Nate and Danley, but just the whole team in general. You fit in really well. What have your first couple of weeks been like here in Philly?
Yeah, it's been. I love the city. It's very tough when you're moving and you don't have small things from home to make it at home. So I just moved into an apartment. I just moved 2 weeks ago. I moved into an apartment.
That's
now I'm finally getting the apartment furnished. And so it now finally starts to feel like home, so I can kind of go home and relax. Whereas the past few weeks I was going to a hotel, which, don't get me wrong, the club do a fantastic job with. It's just...
It's not home.
It's not home. So now I'm going back to my apartment, have this nice couch that I got, genuine leather couch.
Wow.
Which is, I lay on that thing after practice, and sometimes I knock out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. My bed came in. My bed frame came in. So that's all built, and it feels like home now. So I can go to practice, and I have somewhere to relax and kind of just shut off.
Were you just mattress living?
I was... Whoa, I'm not that much of a barbarian. I was air mattress living.
That is
Different level of
that is
barbarian.
so much worse.
It was air mattress living, and it was one of those blow-up ones that blew up by itself, by the way. I didn't have to blow it up at all.
Fancy.
Blew up by itself, and it had a headboard.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It had like an air headboard, which I thought was pretty good fix, until my actual mattress came in. So yeah, it's just...
How long were you on that air mattress, if you don't mind me asking?
It wasn't that bad. It was around a week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's still significant as a professional athlete.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely caused me to have more trips to the physio room.
But
But
the cold tub.
A cold tub and physio room, definitely. But that all worked out. So,
is there anything you've liked that you've done in the city, like more than others?
You know what I will say? I'm gonna get so much crap and trash for this. I went to Reading Terminal for the first time.
You didn't love it.
And maybe I just didn't catch it on the right day. But for me, it was so overwhelming. Ended up going to, an arcade in the Fashion District. Electric.
In the big mall?
Electric.
It's definitely round one.
I hit 3 bonuses.
What game?
Playing.
I hit 3 bonuses.
Playing what? Pinball?
Oh, I hit like 1 bonus, and my girlfriend hit 2 bonuses. But we hit 3 bonuses. One was this air hockey one where you had to like judge the pace of the air hockey. The next one was you have to judge the pace of the ball and roll it up. And I can't remember the third one. But electric, I honestly can't tell you how fun I think arcades are so fun.
Well, I'm glad you found one.
Yeah.
And I'm glad your disappointing experience at Reading Terminal Market led you there at least.
Thank you. I appreciate
Did you end
that.
up getting anything to eat?
We were going to go back to Reading Terminal to get something to eat. And on the way there, we were walking by a bagel place. And Chloe was like, oh, I want a bagel. And I was like, okay.
Philly bagels are good.
I'm not going to argue. Yeah, they were fantastic.
But they're pretty good. They're not like the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say Philly bagels are good as a wild.
Yeah. Depends where you go.
I
Guys, it wasn't
didn't
just a
say they're
bagel.
the best bagels.
Where was it? What was
It
place
wasn't just a
called? Do you
bagel. It
remember?
was a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel, And don't get me
See,
wrong,
there you go.
I got chicken on mine.
Chicken?
On a
that's
bagel.
that's kind of weird.
Was it literally called the Bagel Place?
No, it was called Bagel Co. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Bagel Co.
It's one in the...
Still very good. I'm giving plugs out left
You
and
are.
right
I
here.
gotta
Yeah.
try that.
But Bagel Co. is really good. I actually really enjoyed it.
I've been there.
Thoughts? Out of 10?
It's a good bagel. I'm not saying they're the best bagels in the whole wide world. We're going to New York this weekend. Maybe I'll find one of those there, but... What?
Yeah.
It got the job done, is what I'll say.
Well, you were hungry from arcading. Like, there was a lot going on.
You could find a good bagel. I'm not saying all Philly bagels are bad, but
Yeah.
like
I'm with Mike.
far and few between. Or did I say that wrong?
Few and far
Yeah.
between, but yeah.
Are we going off of bagels itself? Like, are we saying bagels are themselves are not like a top tier breakfast food? Or are we just saying
No. I love bagels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bagels
gonna
are
say, I
Crazy
mean,
slander on Philly bagels.
bagels
I'm not loving it.
Bagels are pretty up there for me.
Probably
you know,
better than
I
whatever
couldn't
bagels
agree
they have
more.
in St. Louis.
Probably.
There's a place where I grew up, not in
Does
England,
anybody off
in
St.
Central
Louis, but
Jersey.
yes.
There you
It's-
go.
It's
See,
called
just-
Pennington Bagel. Pennington Bagel. I've been going for 30 years.
And where?
Pennington, New Jersey.
Oh, never heard of it.
Yeah, not many have.
But
Small town.
But how far of that? Like, how far is that from here? Let's say.
45 minutes.
That's crazy.
And how far is that from Philly, like the city, like Philly to Pennington
It's
Bagel?
north, so it's it's
closer.
about the same. It's like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
So
To an
that's
hour.
like closer to New York. So can you technically say that's almost a New York bagel because you're halfway between Philly
Well,
and
I'd
New
have
York?
to ask them.
Yeah,
They make
so-
the bagels.
They probably call them New York bagels if they're that close to New York.
It's a little bit different, but I understand what you're saying.
From Jersey, I would consider Jersey bagels their own thing.
Mike has never spoken this much, so he's a huge bagel guy. I think we've established that Mike is a big bagel
We
guy.
gave Mike a microphone a couple weeks ago, and now he's choosing to use it. We put him in it last
I'm
week,
happy.
but whatever
I'm
he
happy.
said had to get
I'm
cut
happy.
out.
Well, no, I'm glad he's defending bagels because I thought the start of this conversation was bagels are not a top tier breakfast food. In which case, I would have had to like put a stake down and say I
Agreed.
disagree.
I would agree. with
Okay.
you.
Well, next-
pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Oh,
next time.
pork roll. You
Pork
even know
roll,
what
egg,
that
and
is?
cheese.
Do you even know what that is? Pork roll?
I'm gonna find out next time I order.
It's very,
like-
Taylor ham.
Yeah,
Other
Taylor
name?
ham. It's like salted ham.
Salted
Neither?
ham.
I don't.
Neither-
I mean,
never
I've
mind.
had salted ham before, but I
No, don't. It's pork roll.
pork roll.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
try it. All right. Continue.
Pork roll. There you go.
That's the best order for
I got
a
it.
bagel sandwich.
Yeah,
Same
I
here.
would agree.
I'm ready.
But next time you go to Reading Terminal, you need to ask some
Mm-hmm.
seasoned professionals about the best things to get in there.
I will.
I went in there a couple weeks ago. I saw Quinn and Kevin on an off day, and they were like, I was like hood up, like headphones on, hat on.
Oh
like
God, you were
I was
incognito.
incognito,
Oof.
and I was intentionally incognito, just like by
Yeah.
myself day, one day off. It was like during the off season,
Yeah.
and like I must have sounded crazy. They were like, "What are you getting?" But I was on the hunt. They had a pretzel from Miller's Twist, and it was a pickle wrapped pretzel.
Can I leave?
That
Are you
Did I
anti
leave?
pickle?
Pickle wrap pretzel.
that sounds pretty
What?
aggressive. I don't.
Like a Philly soft
Oh my
pretzel,
God.
but with a pickle. Like instead of like a pig's in a blanket, it's like a pickle in it.
Sage, there's no way you haven't upset everybody who just heard that statement.
Maybe is it a
A
popular
pickle
thing?
wrap pretzel?
I mean, I'm not a huge.
But
pickle
anyways,
guy.
I ran into Quinn and Kevin. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
No,
"I'm on the
they're-
hunt for this like pickle pretzel," and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "I see you later."
Don't bury the lead here.
Oh my God, there's no way.
I probably sounded the same, but it was so good.
Pickle wrap. It was good?
I got like 3. I ate them all on my walk home.
goodness. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not a huge pickle guy.
Sad.
But I don't mind it with certain foods. But pickle wrap pretzel, I feel like the pickle's gonna punch me in the face.
It's
Was it like a sweet pickle or was it a salty pickle?
Salty.
Excuse me. So it was a salty pickle wrapped around a salty pretzel.
Yeah, and it was incredible.
Oh, I'd have to have like a gallon of water there waiting for me after I was done. I mean, listen, to each their own. I'm honestly really glad you enjoyed them. I just don't think that's my cup of coffee. See what I did there?
That was
I
good.
do
That was
see what you
really
did
good.
there. That was
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
So, had you ever been to Philly before you signed here?
I had one away trip with Inter Miami,
Right.
and I think we tied 0-0, I think. And that was my only time. And I believe they put us somewhere near Rittenhouse Square in a hotel there. We
Yep.
ended up walking around there, and I thought it was beautiful.
That's a good area.
good.
Yeah, it
area.
was beautiful.
good
And
taste.
that was kind of my only, picture of what Philly was.
It's a nice hotel too. I forget what it's called now.
Yeah.
So that was your impression.
Yeah,
when you-
impression. Sorry, that's a better word.
When you found out you were coming here, that's kind of what you thought of.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you started to hear that this was becoming a real possibility,
Mhm.
did it make you a little more comfortable knowing there was people here, like head coach Bradley Carnell and his
Yeah.
staff?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It definitely made me feel more comfortable in the fact that I was moving somewhere where I had familiarity. But then at the same time, like, I'll touch on it again. Like, I'm totally okay being an open book and, like, being who I am from the start, which I do think makes it easier to kind of integrate myself within the team. I would say I was more excited rather than nervous to meet the guys.
That's a good thing.
But yeah, it definitely made it easier having those people here. But still, like I was super excited to meet the new people, see old faces. So,
did Bradley give you a call and tell you what he's seen from the team in his first couple of weeks here and anything?
It was more of there was a phone call, but it was more of thank God we got that over the line. See you here tomorrow, and that was pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you were in St. Louis for a pretty decent amount of time.
Yep.
What was it like being part of an expansion team?
Because
that's a very unique experience.
No, it's unique, and it was very special, and especially in our first year, a lot of expansion teams don't really have success. I think there's been few who've had success.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out San Diego; they're doing really well right now.
Yeah.
They're in the West Coast, so, and we don't play them, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so
Not this year.
good job, San Diego, because they're doing really well. But yeah, it was really special, and I think it garnered even more momentum because we were doing well. And yeah, it was special. We ended up winning the West in our first year with Brad and with that same coaching staff, and it was awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. Every single game we had amazing fans. They still do have amazing fans. I have no issue saying that. The fans are the heartbeat of that team, and I hope they continue to do that because honestly, that fan base they have there is amazing. Second only to Philadelphia. But yeah, it was awesome. It was an amazing experience. I'm glad I lived it. And yeah, that's kind of all I can say about that.
And that must have been cool for your family too.
It was awesome. There's no direct flight, or there was no direct flight
Really?
from St. Louis to Savannah. So it was always a connection flight. So it was like St. Louis, Charlotte, St. Louis.
Right.
Now Philadelphia, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of flights from Philadelphia to Savannah straight up. Direct. So it was really cool for them, but for them to come, it was more of a pain. It was still awesome to have them there for some games, but it's less of a pain now that I'm here.
Have they been here yet?
My dad's been to one game, yes.
Okay, what did he think?
He said it was awesome. I think that was the game where we played Cincinnati.
The home opener.
Yeah, and we
That was a good
cooked
one.
Cincinnati.
Played well.
Funny story. We cooked Cincinnati with St. Louis in Brad's first game at home too.
Really?
Yeah, I think we ended up beating them 4-1, I believe it was.
Huh.
And we beat them 4-0 here, right? 3-0?
4-1?
4. It was 4, wasn't it?
4-0?
They
4-1?
scored though. They
4-1.
scored, yeah.
4-1.
That's right.
Oh, so it was the same. Maybe it was the same scoreline.
Wow. You guys brought the magic.
So yeah, that was super fun too. The opening game here, opening home game, that was awesome too. But he was there for that, which was super cool experience.
Nice. So tell me about the family. I heard you're a really big family guy.
Huge family guy. Yeah, huge family guy. My mom and dad, they live in Savannah, Georgia. Really cool little southeast town. Kind of smaller cities. Once you get to know it, you kind of know it already. And my sister graduated from University of Georgia. Go Dogs. SEC ball. Florida just won the NCAA men's basketball tournament. SEC ball all day.
There's a lot of Georgia Bulldogs on this Philadelphia Eagles team too.
Yeah, go Dogs. Hey, shout out Jalen Carter, by the way. Absolute
Let's go.
unit. And then Nolan Smith, funny enough, I think he grew up in Savannah, Georgia, too. I think Nolan Smith grew up in Savannah, Georgia, went to the University of Georgia, and now he's on the Eagles team, too.
Look at that.
Go Dogs. Are you serious?
We got to get him out here to bang the drum.
Yeah.
And then she graduated a double degree there, and now she lives in L.A. She works for a fashion company called... She's going to kill me.
We can edit it in.
Reformation.
Oh, very cool.
Reformation.
Reformation is a cool brand.
And she's in the bridal department.
That's very, very cool.
She's cool. She's really cool. She's like cooler than me. She's awesome. I love her.
In that article, someone said that she judges your game day looks.
Yeah. She I give her a call on game days, and she tells me what she thinks about my outfit. And the days where I don't call her, I get an absolute earful on what I was wearing and my fashion choices. Well, but honestly, it's like some days I just want to put something on and just go, Like, I remember one time I wore Birkenstocks and she was like, "What are you doing?" I'm wearing them right now. Yeah. Honestly, Birkenstocks. I think Birkenstocks changed my life. They are that good of a shoe.
Brand.
They are that good of a shoe. Sandal, whatever you want to call them. They're an they're an everyday thing for me.
You have multiple pairs.
I could wear Birkenstocks for the rest of my life.
Maybe you could get a cleat made.
No, I don't know if I can do that.
Oh.
Except for soccer. You know what? I could if there had like some heel support. Just like
Well, obviously, yeah, you'd need something.
Yeah, I guess heel. If I could get heel support, I honestly wouldn't mind playing. I wouldn't mind playing in a shoe painted to look like a Birkenstock.
We gotta get somebody on that.
I honestly wouldn't mind playing in
definitely
those.
knows someone who can make that happen.
He must.
I mean, think about it. Birkenstocks are universal. You can wear them leisure wear. You can wear them to private events, in my opinion. You can wear them to the beach.
Private events.
Yeah, what do you mean by private? Are you putting dogs out for?
No, I mean, come on. Like, if we want to...
These are clogs.
Covered toes.
If you want to take a look at these ones right here, like, they're a little dirty.
Right.
You could do like the ones with the strap in the back. That could be for a private event.
You know, I'm talking about suit, white stocks. Okay, now we're talking. You know, and then people are gonna come up to you and be like, "Are you wearing Birkenstocks?" Like, freak yeah, I'm wearing Birkenstocks. Are you kidding me? It's almost like a conversation starter as well.
Sure.
At the same time.
Sure.
Are you going to the Philadelphia Union Gala? You should show up in a suit and
I was
Birkenstock.
literally just thinking that, Sage.
Wow, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna put him on the spot. Now he has to go.
Are you gonna be supporting
Wow,
the
you guys
foundation?
balance off each other so well there. So well, that was amazing.
We've been doing this for a while.
I don't know if I'm going to the Philadelphia Gala.
Huh.
I'm still unsure. So I'm gonna leave that open, and so I'm gonna leave that open-ended.
But if you do,
But if I do go, I would have to purchase a brand new pair of Birkenstocks. So I'm not going with something that's a little. I'll show you again. They're just a little beat up right now. So I'm not going with something that's a little beat up. You know, I want to go with some fresh Birkenstocks. You know, people will be like, "Wow, those are out of the box."
Well, like the white ones that are like a little bit like plasticky.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cheap. You can get those for like $30, maybe 40.
Listen, I don't mess around with my Birkenstocks though. You know, like if I'm buying
Need the
Birkenstocks,
suede.
I need the suede. I need the quality. You know.
How do you clean the suede? The suede is the worst
You know
material.
what I heard? You know what I heard? I heard. I heard you can just throw them in the washing machine.
No way.
And they clean. You just so you clean them.
No. Don't put suede in the washing machine.
No. I'm telling you right now. I have had friends.
but you have not tried this yourself.
I haven't tried it.
Don't try this at home, kids.
But I have had friends who have put their suede Birkenstocks in the washing machine, and they come out clean, and there's no issues with them.
But isn't it like suede's not supposed to get wet? I thought.
You are correct, Mark.
Because I am addicted to Adidas Sambas, and I can only.
It's a good shoe.
It's a great shoe. Shout out Adidas. We
Shout out
love
Adidas.
Adidas. Adidas is the best. But the toe, I drag my feet a little bit. Gets dirty because the toe is almost always suede.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to throw mine in the wash.
It sounds
If
to
I
me
take
like
your advice and tomorrow I come back and I'm
Well,
like,
no. Don't take my advice, because now I feel like I'm in.
You're empowering people to throw their suede in the
everybody in
washing
the room
machine.
here, people you can't even see, are disagreeing with me. So no, I don't want to. That's not advice.
I think what's about to happen, Sage, take your favorite pair, throw it in the wash tonight, and if something happens, Indy buys you a new pair anyway.
oh, this is
You know
a
what?
great deal.
You know what?
This is a great
I'm gonna
deal.
call him out. You know who told me to do this?
Who?
Tim Parker told me to do this.
Tim Parker.
Veteran of the league.
Yeah.
Played with him at St. Louis. He
Sure.
said, "Throw him." So I'm gonna throw him under the bus here. So you go ahead and do that. And if they get messed up, don't worry. I will cover it.
All right.
It's worth trying.
You know what? We have a deal. We have a deal.
There you go.
I actually
gonna
have
have
a
to have a
pair that
follow-up.
I have a pair that need washing.
But is it your favorite pair, or is it just a pair?
It's just a pair.
Okay,
That's better.
that's better.
We got from your family to washing machine tactics real quick.
Yeah.
How about that? What would your sister, the Reformation?
I honestly
Worker.
haven't asked her. I honestly don't. I don't really want her to see this. To be honest with you, I feel like if she sees this, she might be like, "I can't believe you gave that advice on a podcast."
I think it's great advice, and I think we're gonna have a follow-up. once we see if it works or not.
Can we Google that?
Yeah.
Can we Google? But I want Birkenstocks though. I want to know Birkenstocks. I don't want to know like suede. Obviously, you guys know your stuff, so I don't want to see suede. I want to see. Can you dishwasher? Can you washing machine Birkenstocks?
While Birkenstocks are not meant to get wet, they will not be ruined if they get wet within reason.
Well,
Yeah.
and I would say
Yeah.
submerged in a washing machine is probably not within reason.
However, the rubber ones that you were talking some crap on before, if you throw those
Obviously.
into the wash, I'm sure that
I'm not
it
throwing
wouldn't
those
be
in
a
the wall. If
problem.
I have rubber Birkenstocks, I'm gonna go in the shower with them and just clean them myself. You know, I'm not gonna freaking put them in the washing machine for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, you could probably like Lysol wipe them too.
Yeah, or like I'll just throw them in I'll just clean them in the sink with the dishes,
Right.
There you go.
and then I'll put the dishes in the dishwasher. Obviously, I'm not a
Right. You're not a
Yeah, come on,
barbarian.
yeah, I'm not a
We already
barbarian.
know that you're
Throw
not
the
a
Birks
barbarian.
right in the dishwasher.
what?
I mean, throw the Birks right in the dishwasher.
Could be the
You
play.
know what, you guys? I'm feeling a little bit of hate and a little bit of distrust amongst this group. I'm
No.
putting my
No.
Birks
Oh,
in the
no.
dishwasher tonight.
I trusted you enough to sacrifice Sage's
Take a video, please.
shoes.
I'm putting them in the dishwasher tonight. Washing machine tonight.
So your sister,
Mhm.
she would probably think this conversation is insane. What does she think about your mustache?
Well, I'll have everybody know here. It started as a spite stash.
A spite stash.
Spite stash. So when it was a little, let me curl this thing up. So when it started, why'd you just slowly blink at me? Just
felt
curl it
like
up. Let me just curl up so people can see that
I
it
don't even
literally
know what
just
to-
it literally just holds its form. Like I don't really have to do anything. Is it holding form
Yeah,
a little bit?
it is.
All right,
So-
Mark, your turn.
Yeah, nope.
It started as a spite stash, so when it was a little itty bitty, and when it was smaller, didn't have as much volume or as much curl to it, my sister was like, "You gotta take that thing off your face. Like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't look good. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish here, but it doesn't look good." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Hung up FaceTime. Idea popped in my head. I'm not shaving this thing.
Now it's
No,
extra
this
spite
thing is
stash.
staying. And now it went from itty bitty to extra spice.
Right.
And I'm bringing the spice, because it's staying and it's here to stay and it's not going away.
Well, and it's kind of like your thing now.
I know. I almost have become attached to it.
Yeah.
But like if I was to shave it, like cool, I would probably grow it out again though. Is my thing. If I was to shave the mustache, I think I would make an effort to grow it out again.
Do you use any product?
No product.
No
That's-
product?
No product.
So many fans asked about the product.
That's just genetics.
Wow. That's
That's the genetics of the stash.
So
I
when
got
was
it.
this? When did this start?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I think maybe it had to have been over a year and a half ago, maybe, where
Wow.
I started growing it out.
Not even before a game? You don't need to put some wax in it before you run out there and
No, it's just one of those things where I just twist it, and it kind of just like, if I want it to stay, it kind of just pops up there,
when you're like on the sideline getting ready to come into the game. Do you do that just so you get your game face on?
you took the words out of my mouth.
No,
Mark.
I don't, but it's almost become like something that I do,
As like
like subconsciously, like
Right.
we'll be doing video, and I'll just be like this. I'll just be like
yeah.
twisting like this. And I'll like just be paying attention, and I just like that. Like how some people
Sure.
who like try and find an answer to a question, like they get asked a question, like little pause and like this. I'm more like twisting the stash instead, and then I say my answer,
Right. It
So
makes you look smarter too.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question that you could do this. You
Yeah.
could do the little act.
Mhm.
Right. Who on the team could pull off a handlebar mustache?
Oh. I can't even think of guys who have beards on our team.
They don't need to have a beard.
Who could pull off a handlebar mustache? That is a fantastic question that I'm really struggling to answer. I honestly don't know. I'll tell you who I would love to see with the handlebar mustache, which we will never see this. Jovan Lukic.
Why don't you think you'll ever see it?
I'm not sure he can grow a mustache.
Nah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I would love to see him with the mustache. In all honesty.
Yeah, that would be good.
I think if you could grow the hair, you could probably convince him to do it.
But I think that's his issue. I think his issue is that his growing process would be ugly duckling growing process. He would go through a phase where it's like, that doesn't look good.
Right.
But he would have to stick through it.
Have to power through.
I don't think he would want to.
Right.
So a fan asked a question.
Okay.
I was gonna ask it later, but this is a perfect time to bring it up. Have you ever thought about growing mutton chops?
Ooh.
They said
wow.
You should. ...
I have never thought of growing mutton chops. That would be something that maybe I could explore, though.
Yeah?
Now, would that require me to shave my mustache is the question that I would have. Would I have to shave my mustache and then just go like chops here?
No, I don't think you'd have to shave.
No?
I'm not well versed on beards, Mark.
No, I mean, I'm not either. This is barely a beard. I would say that, no, you
don't say that. Both. That's fantastic.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. No, I think you could grow the chops and keep the stash.
So I would have to grow the chops, and I'd have to like chop like this down, really down, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Be a look.
I mean, like, hey, if we finish like, I don't know, top.
He's a.
I'm about to say something that I might regret.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I had something caught in my throat. I don't know what I was gonna say. No, you know what? If we finish top 4 in the league and make playoffs, I'll get mutton chops for the playoffs.
Oh, because you think you could go? You think you could grow them pretty fast?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's hard.
Well,
I think I just let my beard grow out, and then like once it gets thick enough, like I'll just like shave this, right?
Right, but somebody suggested to me today to shave and just have the stash, but I didn't want to do that because it would take me way too long to grow it back.
No, I think I'd be okay. I'm also very open with my appearance. Like mutton chops, cool. Like let me take that off the bucket list of trying that for my life. Sure. Yeah, I'll do. Oh yeah.
When did you get your ears pierced?
In England. It was a very European thing to do.
Yeah.
I was around a lot of pierced ears, and I was like, oh man, I want to be cool too.
Is there anyone in particular that you saw? No.
I just thought it was gonna be cool, like a little edgy, And now I kind of just have them, so I'm just wearing them. But they were studs. Now they're hoops. Or what do they call it? Huggies?
Yeah.
Knowledge. That's the knowledge. Yeah. And then I think I'm going to get this side pierced too. Just because there's other earrings that I would like to wear. But this is kind of like, I do like wearing 2 hoops, so I might just get 2 on this side and wear whatever I want.
Like a creative shape? Like I don't know, a earring? Like a lightning bolt?
Oh, no. I might do like a cube.
Cube.
I was going to cube, specific cube.
This might be a dumb question. Do you have to take those out when you play?
Yeah. In training, no. But when I play, yeah. But that's like league mandated rule.
Right. I feel like I remember.
Or like soccer or football rule in general. You can't wear jewelry.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because football players, you can be
big necklaces.
Football players are blinged out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that necklace Jalen Hurts wore one time after after a game?
Pretty impressive.
Man, his diamonds were shining. Anyways.
Do you have any football affiliations? It's okay. We're all friends here.
We're all friends here. What I will say is the Falcons broke my heart so badly when they were up 28-3.
Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan. That was awesome.
Yeah. Can I leave?
I wouldn't have brought it up. You brought it up.
No, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I was more sad for, especially as time went on, I was more sad for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones because I really feel like they deserved something. They were special. I really felt like they deserved something to show for like the careers they had.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it was there for them. Like there's no hate towards you or the Patriots. Like fair play, you know what I mean? Like you should be able to hold a 28-3 lead in football with like a quarter left.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to. And I'm sure they know that. So I'm not trying to hate on them. It's just like you kind of stoked a fire here, and I was so mad. I've been so mad for so long. So I obviously support the Dirty Birds.
She's also a Patriots fan.
I was also a Dirty Birds fan.
We're surrounded.
And then I also supported the Seahawks when I was a kid because I loved their lime green uniforms.
Yeah.
And since a kid, I love lime green. My first pair of shoes were lime green, like just like that color right there.
Yeah.
They were like lime green, but they were a pair of Nikes, old ones. So I love lime green, and then they would play with obviously very, very bright colors. And I was like, man, that's a cool team. I like them. So those two teams. I tell you one thing for a fact, though. I was 100% pulling for the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Let's go.
Go Birds.
Hard not to win. Well, you weren't even here yet. Right, so.
I wasn't even here yet. You know who I watched? I think it was who'd they play? Man, I'm trying to remember who they played because I watched it with.
This year?
This year.
They played the Chiefs.
No, but in the who'd they play in the final? The
NFC title game
yeah,
was the Commanders.
Commanders. So I watched the Commanders game with Jack McGlynn, whom I love very much.
Oh,
Jack
because
McGlynn
he was
is
at camp when we were in preseason.
Jack
Right.
McGlynn is a gem of a human being. I love that guy.
We had him on the podcast
Yeah,
last
former
year.
podcast.
Yeah, I mean he's fantastic. I love him.
That was the craziest pod we ever had.
He is amazing. So I watched the game with him actually, and every quarter, right in my ear, he would scream almost as loud as he could. Can I scream? No, I'm not gonna scream.
Hold on.
No. He would literally scream, "Go Birds!" so loud.
Give it a good yell. Give it a good go Birds.
No. Go Birds! But anyways, so
Welcome to Philadelphia.
But he would do that so loud in my ear. Like, honestly, the last time I think I honestly tried to swing at him because it was so annoying. But, I mean, I guess that's it encapsulates what a Philly fan is. You know what I mean? He was passionate, and he was there, and he was cheering his team on.
What an introduction to Philly fans.
Yeah, I agree.
When you were in England, did you still watch the NFL? Or was it too hard?
Not really. I tell you what really got me into watching the NFL was fantasy football. Man, it gets you rooting for teams you never thought you'd root for. It gets you rooting for players you didn't know existed. There's just something so special about fantasy football. Holds a very sacred place in my heart.
Now, our most recent podcast guest, Andrew Rick, lost the Team Fantasy League last year. And he has a punishment that has yet to be fulfilled.
Oh God, I honestly don't even know I don't even know if I want to know what it is.
Stand-up comedy.
Oh, that one's horrible. I feel like I'd be okay with that one.
I was just gonna
though.
say, I
You'd be
feel like
okay.
that wouldn't be that
You'd be
bad.
I feel like
okay.
I'd be okay with that one. Still not good. We had one. No, I didn't do it. It was one we spoke about. I think this one's horrible. 24 hours in Waffle House.
Yeah.
Every waffle you eat is an hour off your time.
Yep.
So like if let's say you eat 8 waffles, right? You're in Waffle House for 16 hours.
It's a long day.
You could be in worse places, but that's tough.
Yep.
I think I would start at midnight, by the way. And I would just sit there and I'd just, go ham. I wouldn't eat the whole day. And then I would just go ham at 12 o'clock. And then,
So you thought about this?
Yeah, of course I thought about it. We had one guy do the beer mile.
What's that?
Beer mile?
No.
It's like you're on a 400 track. And I think every 200 or every 400 you have to chug a beer.
There you go.
Do you stop and chug, or you have to like run and chug?
No, you got to stop and chug it. And then obviously by the end, like your gut's just full of beer and honestly great to watch.
Probably
I tell you
pretty
what.
amusing.
Pretty great to watch.
Wow.
Yeah, so we just kind of went on fantasy football punishments.
I don't think Andrew Rick's old enough to do that yet.
He's definitely not. Was Wickman Stickman the last guy on the podcast, or was it Frankie?
No, it was.
What did you just call him?
Wickman Stickman?
What?
Rick? Wickman Stickman? Andrew Rick? Wickman?
He was our most recent.
He came with
Frankie was the first this year.
Yeah, Frankie, Ty, Rick,
Mr. Baribo was on here, and Rick,
you.
and now me.
Yep.
Who should we have next?
Got a lot of great choices. You honestly can't choose wrong.
Is there any character that like?
PR trained, by the way.
Yeah. Well done.
Is there any character that we wouldn't think is like a character, but in the locker room they're an absolute? Just
You guys should have
top
Jovan
man?
on here. Honestly, I already said his name previously. Jovan is he's a great personality. You should have him on here.
We did a video piece with him last week, and it's coming out next week.
Yeah.
So we need to let that breathe first.
He's
we took him out into the city, did a big bus tour.
Yeah.
Like the big red bus.
Oh, it's going to be so
mic'd
good.
him up.
That's going to be so good. Yeah, he's awesome. He's got a great personality.
We taught him all about Ben Franklin.
He didn't know who Ben Franklin was?
He was like, why is everything in Philadelphia named Ben Franklin? Like the bridge, the street, we passed Ben Franklin's grave.
Surely he's seen a $100 bill before. Surely he
$100
knows. Surely he knows who Ben Franklin is. Who else? I mean, I think Bruno would be funny.
Oh, we got to convince him.
I think Bruno would be funny.
That would take some convincing, I think.
It would. I'll try and convince him.
Tell him it was so fun. You had the best
Put the
time.
word in.
I will try.
So the people, we got really like off the track of
Yeah,
the serious questions, but this has been fun.
Yeah.
But the people want to know about your time in England. Care to share how that came to be, and then how that came to be MLS? Because you're at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You were young.
So I went on trial with Villa when I was still at IMG, and I was with the U17 residency team, which was, they did it for a long time. It was the under-17 World Cup team. You would train together for 2 years, and there was like 30 or 40 guys that would train together and live together. After 2 years, you'd go to the World Cup as a team and be chosen pretty much from those, 30 guys that lived together. The whole idea was if you live together, more cohesive, more of a team. So I was with them, and then I went on trial at Villa for a week and a half. And then I think I went to the World Cup with the 17s. And then they offered me like a scholarship deal, which I signed. I was there for since 2017. So 2017 to 2023, I think. I don't know anymore. But I obviously was on loan a couple times. So I played for a team called Burton Albion, then Cheltenham. And then I was on loan to Inter Miami twice. And then it's weird how MLS does it. My rights were traded or sold to St. Louis, who then signed me. Played 2 years there. Now
Now we're here.
I'm at Philly. And that was, my time in England was a very good experience. I'd say, I don't want to make people mad. A lot of the stereotypes that I had going in to moving to England stayed the same.
Like?
It does rain a lot over there. And if you wake up in a bad mood, the weather's not going to help you out. I can tell you that right now.
That's fair.
The food over there.
Nope. Don't say it. That's a misnomer.
What?
The food's fine.
Yeah. The food in America is much better than the food in England. I can tell you that for a fact. There's also a weird thing. There definitely is an American. What's the opposite of American bias? So American bias means that Americans are favored, right? What's the opposite of that? Because whatever the opposite is, like that definitely is a thing in Europe and European football. No matter what people say, if you ask English people to say, "Oh, they call it soccer," they don't know how to do, and they'll completely make fun of us and they'll take the piss.
Take the piss.
Sure.
I
Like
learned
that?
that recently.
You guys like that? Dropping in bangers here.
Yeah.
They'll take the piss out of Americans, but there definitely is the opposite of an American bias in European football, 100%.
I would agree on the soccer side of things.
Yes.
Right? But on the lifestyle and the culture, they love it. They love the American lifestyle and
Yes.
the American culture.
100%.
So it's kind of interesting, those two different.
100%. But if you're saying strictly football-wise, if it's the same player and one's European, let's say English, and one's American, they will choose the European or the European. Sorry. Which that definitely is true. I'm not saying it was so prevalent when I was there, just because when I was with the first team, there was fantastic players who I don't think I should have played over anyways. So I'm not. This isn't me speaking from personal experience, but that's 100% a thing.
Yeah.
Which people don't really like to look at because we're American.
Right.
Well, you're kind of English.
He's on his way.
I just applied for my citizenship finally 35 years later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the good side.
Thanks.
So you're at Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Right now you're 24, but you were 18 years old, 5 months, and 27 days old when you became the second youngest American to appear in the Premier League. With that bias in mind and
That's
being
crazy.
away from home when you're that
Yeah.
young, on that kind of stage,
Mhm.
how do you deal with that mentally?
It was really tough. I want to shout out Dean Smith real quick. And I shouldn't do this because he's the coach of an Eastern Conference team that
Right.
was probably one of our
I
rivals.
was going to ask you about him anyway. So.
He gave me my debut in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. He put trust in me. He put me on. He's awesome. I love him as a coach. I think he's a fantastic coach. I'm glad that he's doing well with Charlotte. I hope he does really well, aside from when he plays us. But I have a lot of respect, a lot of admiration for him, and I'm just thankful to him for giving me the opportunity to play over there and make my debut in those big competitions. But it was good. Yeah, I mean it's really hard. Kind of every day proving or trying to prove to yourself that you belong in an environment like that with people who have big egos, with people who are really, really good at what they do and they have big egos, which by the way is like a great mix. You know what I mean? Like if you're a good soccer player and you have a big ego, that's actually like not good for a team environment,
Right.
but like it is good. You know what I mean? Because if
Yeah.
you believe in yourself and you trust yourself and you are actually good, like
Yep.
that it should work in your favor. Some of the time, obviously there are times where what I just said is completely irrelevant. But I do think some of the time that helps. And yeah, it was just kind of talking to people that you love and you trust, and you kind of just got to convince yourself that you belong. And
Did you go by yourself?
so the first like almost year, I had my dad with me. Second year, I had my mom with me, and then I was by myself when I was like 16, from like 18 onwards. I was by myself, which would have been cool if one of my parents was there to see my debut,
Yeah.
but they were back in the U.S.
Right.
But it was awesome. It was a great experience. Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
What does 18-year-old Indy do to like separate the pressure that something like that can bring? What were you doing other than talking to your family? What did you like to do?
Oof, I don't even know. I was scared. I was young. It is scary. Like I was really nervous.
Like, what kind of place were you living in? Did they put you up somewhere?
No, I was
in
in
a
a
flat.
flat. There
In
you
a
go.
flat?
I was in a flat, aka apartment, in Sutton Coldfield. It was called Sutton Coldfield, and I was just living there, a small little apartment. And yeah, that's just what it was. That's kind of all I did. It was all you really could do. It was tough to speak to other players about it just because there wasn't really people my age except for Jacob Ramsey. Shout out him as well. He's awesome. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, I mean, it was tough, but everybody has it tough. You know what I mean? It wasn't just me. Everybody has it tough every day. Got to deal with it.
So flash forward to now. What does 24-year-old Indy do to unwind?
Unwind?
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do off the field?
Let me talk about one of my fixations lately.
Oh boy. Buckle up, everybody.
Pokemon Pocket
Pokemon
trading card
Pocket.
game. Oh my goodness. That thing's got a grip on me.
Wow.
I'm going to grab my phone real quick so I can show the camera.
All right.
Erica, can you hear my phone? Pokemon Pocket.
Oh, it's that lime green.
Yeah, my sister has the same one.
That's nice.
Or a similar one. I'm just going to show people my level right now because they're going to want to see this.
Oh,
For
it's just
people who
like
play Pokemon Pocket TCG, they're going to know how impressive this is, or somewhat impressive this is. So this is a game. I don't know if are people able to see this?
Show that camera.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Right, hold up.
Hold it back towards you a little bit. Yeah, we're in focus
Right here?
now. Yeah, perfect.
All right, watch this. Hold up. Battle versus ranked. There's a ranked season going on right now. Right, started a couple of days ago. Ultra Bowl rank 3. I'm about to level up. I'm literally in the rank up battle to go to Ultra Bowl 4. And after Ultra Bowl 4, once you graduate from there, you go to Master Bowl. And that's where all the good players play.
And then something comes
that's
out of the
like-
phone and punches
that-
you in the face and says you're playing this way too much.
So this is like right now I'm like Ultra Bowl League 3. I'm like in like Serie A right now, right?
Oh wow.
Right? And I'm about to move leagues. I'm about to go from Serie A to La Liga, right? And
What's the pinnacle?
Premier League,
Okay.
right? And so once I go from Ultra Ball 3 to Ultra Ball 4, then I go to Master League. And once I go to Master League, that is the pinnacle, right? So this has been my fixation. This deck right here, I'm giving out all the sauce right now, by the way. This deck right here, cold. That's what I gotta say about that. That deck right there got me to this level. That's literally all I've been doing. And aside from that, I kind of just walk to coffee shops when I'm home. I was building a lot of furniture. I was furnishing the apartment a lot.
You build it yourself?
Yeah. I bought this bed frame from it's called Thuma.
Never heard of it.
Oh my goodness! If you guys ever buy a bed frame again, buy it from that place.
A lot of pieces?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying buy it from there. You know why? It's literally, I set it up in 20 minutes. 'Cause it just
20 minutes?
You just slide it in. Like you slide the pieces together, and there's 2 screws. It was fantastic. So if you ever get a new headboard, get Thuma. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Won't regret it.
And that's been pretty much it. And then I think once I got my rug and my coffee table coming.
Are you like a designer?
No.
An amateur designer?
No.
You seem like you care a lot about your...
I just ask my sister. Ask my sister and my girlfriend, and they just send me stuff, and I just get them.
Do you have anything up on the walls?
No, not really.
So we have a lot of questions from fans. You've made a really good impression on them. But you've made a good impression on our staff, too. I was driving in the other day, and Marissa, who does sports nutrition, helps take care of you guys, making sure you're eating the right things.
Shout out Marissa.
Shout out Marissa. She texted me at like 8:15. You guys should get content of Indy describing his love for butter at breakfast.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Let me bring this a little closer. Butter on toast. Butter on, let's say, I'm going to start over here. Butter on a slice of bread. Butter on a bagel. Butter on a muffin. Butter on a whatever you want, carb-wise. That's, slice of toast similar, right?
What about like a baked potato?
Leave. No. No. Baked potato is not a breakfast food, though,
Oh, yeah, fair, but...
I'm saying, like, butter on one of those, it makes my whole morning. I have the same thing every day. I have half an avocado, 2 scrambled eggs with cheese, and a slice of, usually it's a slice of bread or a slice of toast. If I don't have butter on that toast, I'm upset. I'm upset for the rest of the day.
Specific butter?
No.
Any butter?
Any butter.
So one fan asked, what makes you mad? This might be it.
Yeah, I get fired up when there's no butter in the morning. I need butter on that bagel, toast, whatever you call it. I need it. And I tell you what, they've been tricking us a little bit upstairs in the meal room, in the canteen.
Another English thing.
They have whipped cream cheese.
It looks like butter.
That looks like butter. And thankfully I never did this. If I did this, I think I would have driven home. But I know of a player who put cream cheese on their slice of toast thinking it was butter. Took a bite, and they were like, what is this? If that happened to me, honestly, ruined the morning.
Who did it?
Ruined the morning.
I
don't want to name names. Kevin Sullivan. And I felt so bad for him. I honestly, I wasn't even laughing. Some people were like, thinking it was funny. I wasn't even laughing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I was like, wow. I'd be angry if I was him. I think he was.
Sounds like he should be.
But yeah, my love for butter in the morning knows no bounds.
Wow. All right, that being said, we'll go to questions after this quick break. At Reedman Toll Subaru of Exton, we have a lot in common with the roster of the Philadelphia Union. There's no I in team, there's no I in Subaru either. Leave it all on the pitch, leave your keys with us, and go enjoy our comfortable service waiting area. Subaru and local Subaru retailers like Reedman Toll Subaru of Exton are proud to support the Philadelphia Union. This means we're supporting Union players on the pitch and Union fans on the road with regular maintenance, test drives, and finding that perfect vehicle. Visit Reedman Toll Subaru of Exton today. Learn more at reedmantollsubaruofexton.com.
Subaru has teamed up with the Philadelphia Union and Greater Philadelphia area Subaru retailers to make a difference in our community and at Subaru Park. Together, we've helped hundreds of pets get adopted at the stadium. At Subaru Park, we've grown and donated thousands of servings of fresh organic produce to area food banks and helped give kids in our community access to the game they love. Together, Subaru and the Philadelphia Union are making a difference. Subaru, more than a car company.
We're back, and we have questions. We're going to kick it off with one from Mallory, aged 11.
Okay.
You seem like such a jokester on the team. Have they tired of you yet?
Oh, have they? I hope not. I hope they haven't tired of me yet. But I do tend to reuse the same jokes.
Oh, really?
I will reuse the same jokes, and it just never gets tiring for me. So they might get tired of me, but I'll reuse the same jokes over and over again.
Wolf Moon Dragon Blood. That's the person's handle
Nice.
on Instagram.
I kind of like it.
What's your favorite film genre?
Ooh, what a great question.
From Wolf Moon Dragon Blood.
Wolf Moon Dragon Blood. I think I would have to say those murder mystery ones.
Ooh.
I'll give you a couple quick hits. The Glass Onion franchise. I think that's what it's called, right? Have you seen that one?
Nope.
Knives Out.
Knives Out,
And
yeah.
then Glass Onion's one of the ones.
Yeah. So I love those. I love Gone Girl
Oh, that's a good
with
one.
Ben Affleck and
Yep.
Rosamund Pike.
Yep.
Love that film. I love Quentin Tarantino movies. I know they're a bit gruesome and graphic, but I love his movies. I also like some movies by Guy Ritchie as well. He had one that I watched recently. I don't know what it was called, but it was fantastic.
There you go.
Nico Giordano. What's your favorite song?
Oh, God. My favorite song... I have no idea what my favorite song is. I'll say that my initiation song usually is Don't Stop Believin' or Country Road Take Me Home
You didn't have to do it this year because
by John Denver.
you came after
I didn't have to do it.
preseason.
Shame for the players.
So those are your karaoke songs then too.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Anna Suchomo wants to know, what's your favorite drill to do in training?
Favorite drill to do in training would have to do anything under the umbrella of shooting drills.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Anybody can get involved. There's usually a lot of trash talk going around. So.
Yep.
Peter Doik generally wants to know about your relationship with Bulgaria. Have you ever been there? He's a Bulgarian Philly Union fan and would love to know your thoughts.
Yeah, so I try and go there every 2 years.
Really?
The last time I was there was in the winter. I think the winter 2 years ago, which was really cold. But usually I stay in Sliven or Sofia. But yeah, definitely very, very deep Bulgarian roots. My whole extended family live in Bulgaria.
Oh, wow.
So my mom and dad's sister in the U.S., and then the rest of my extended family is in Bulgaria. So very deep Bulgarian roots.
When did your parents come to the States?
Whew, great question. It was somewhere like in 95 or 96, I think.
And what brought them here?
My dad was on a full scholarship to play college ball here. And then when he graduated, he just moved to Savannah.
Stayed.
Yeah,
So you guys
stayed.
all go as a family every 2 years?
We try to, yeah, that's the plan. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's the plan usually, yeah.
Is there anything like that you've done there? I don't really know what's in Bulgaria, honestly. Like, what do you do there? Do you spend time with family? Or there's certain activities you're like, I can't wait to go to Bulgaria and do?
It's more of you just hang out with family, and there's this one. I don't know what they're called. You know when you go skiing and there's a lift? What's that lift called? Where like you just hop on it and
Gondola?
I would have just called it a lift.
A chairlift or a gondola.
a chairlift, yeah, or gondola, or whatever it's called. There's one on this like small mountain in Sliven. I think it's called Karandila, and we usually walk up there. And then there's this like special path called the Hajduten Pateka, I think that's what it's called. And it's like this really rocky way to get up. And I tell you what, that kicked my butt when I did it the first time with my dad. But doing that and then hanging out with family is kind of what we look forward to.
Nice.
This is from the haha 1234522. What is the biggest piece of advice you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
These are really good questions that I don't think I've ever thought about. I think advice that a lot of people have given me was to have fun and enjoy, because this soccer career that everybody has doesn't last forever. So when you do play, you should have fun. Like, you should play with a smile on your face.
Yep.
There's a lot of different emotions, and you can get mad and you can get frustrated. But you should definitely always play with a smile on your face, because the position that we're in is we are blessed to play soccer for a living, and that won't last forever. So just play with a smile and like truly enjoy, like no matter how hard it is.
If you weren't a soccer player, what do you think you would be doing?
Well, I don't know.
And or what's next when you're done?
I honestly don't know what I would be. Maybe I would be. I was okay at math when I wasn't okay. I was pretty good at math. I'll toot my own horn here. I was pretty good at math when I was younger. When I was in school, I was actually pretty good at math. So maybe something to do with numbers, whatever that entails. After soccer, I don't really know. I am trying to get and I will get my coaching licenses, just so I can have that.
Nice.
So if I do want to do that afterwards, it's not something that I have to go through the process of getting after I'm done. I'll already have that. But we'll see. I don't know.
So you mentioned Pokemon Pocket Go, whatever it's called. What is it called again?
Pokemon Pocket.
Pokemon Pocket.
Trading card game.
Trading card game.
TCG.
Nick.Abood wants to know, what town hall are you? I had to look up what that was, because I think that's another game.
That's not Clash Royale. That's Clash of Clans. So I used to have a Clash of Clans account. I stopped. I am playing Clash Royale. Not as much as I play Pokemon Pocket, but it's still there. And it's still alive. I think I'm around like 6,000, 7,000 trophies.
What are we talking about screen time on that phone then, if you're playing all this?
Can you please pull it up?
I don't want to pull it up. I don't really want to out myself for people, Listen,
yeah, I think you already outed yourself.
Listen. I read books and I sit outside and I stare at the road and I do
people watch.
Yeah, I do things. I do things. It's probably very high. But yeah, I don't know what my town hall is now. I think I left it when it was maybe 4 or 5, and now I don't have that anymore. Sadly, well, not sadly. I just lost the love for that game. The passion was no longer there.
Trent Thomas VA wants to know, who's your favorite player you played with at Aston Villa, and what's your favorite away stadium you played in?
My favorite player was probably one of my good friends, was Jacob Ramsey. And we kind of went up through the academy together, and he now plays Champions League soccer.
Sure does.
And he's a very big part of what they do. And he's a really, really good guy. So he was probably like my closest friend, I would say. And also a keeper who now plays for Celtic, Viljami Sinisalo. He's a Finnish guy who's a goalkeeper. He was also one of my very good friends. And best away stadium I played at was tough, because when I was playing away, or when I was in the squad for the away games, it was during COVID, so there was no fans, which kind of takes away the atmosphere and the excitement of playing away in these like big, fantastic stadiums.
Yep.
But I played Arsenal away when it was like a preseason game, but I still played in the stadium. Emirates is beautiful.
Yep.
Played Anfield away, which was
now we're talking.
Which was cool.
We love Liverpool.
But there was no fans again, so it was a little weird.
Tough.
Newcastle away, their stadium is beautiful as well. Best away atmosphere that I can think of. I'm not going to say any team in the MLS, because I don't want to shout out anybody in the MLS.
That's a good idea. Unless you said Philadelphia when you came with Inter Miami.
But you know what? I think that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for you, but
I think that's what it was, actually.
Like you said, one of your characteristics, loyal.
There you go.
Loyal guy. Shane Michael, best and worst English food from your time.
Oh, man. Let me talk about these baked beans in the morning. Oh my God. The baked beans in the morning? Are you serious?
Are you saying this in a good way or a bad way?
No. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this in a not a nice way.
Oh. So
baked beans in the morning? I had baked beans in the morning. The first time I had it, the bathroom was calling my name before training. Are you serious?
So it was a little bit different than the buttered bread?
Are you serious? The buttered bread's, buttered bread. That's sacred. That's up there.
But you put some beans on it, and then you got some.
No. So I would say the baked beans was definitely a weird one that I could not wrap my mind around.
Like
ever.
beans on toast, you can't get behind?
Huh. Beans on toast, beans on anything. Beans in the morning, and the bathroom's calling my name. You know, I got training in the morning. I got to be able to move around.
Hates beans, hates pickles.
And then the best thing, kind of cliche, they had the fish and chips in England is actually fantastic. I remember we had one away trip in Plymouth. There was a fish and chip shop in Plymouth that was fantastic. And Plymouth's on the coast, so I guess the fish might have been fresher. That was fantastic.
Nice.
Do you like that answer, Mark?
I wouldn't have been what I went with, but
what would you
I'm a sausage roll guy. Did you ever have the sausage rolls?
From Greg's?
Yeah.
High five.
Right.
Oh my God. I had too many.
See,
you know what I had though? I had the chicken bakes.
I don't think I ever had that.
The chicken bakes? I had an issue with those.
But so now you're just rattling off all these things that you did like, so the food can't have been that bad. Just because you didn't like baked beans for breakfast.
Well, I didn't say their whole food is bad. But the baked beans is, up there for got to be one of the worst breakfast foods of all time. And if that makes people mad, that makes people mad.
Did you ever have black pudding?
I stayed away from that. Yeah, I stayed away from that.
Oh, wait.
It's your turn.
It's me. Why are you named Indiana?
Indiana Jones film franchise. My dad loved it. Took some convincing, but great film franchise, great series. I think Harrison Ford has done his last film. I think they need to find a new one.
Don't talk about Harrison Ford in any kind of negative way.
Yeah, it wasn't negative. No, it wasn't negative. He's done a great job with the film franchise. I think it's time for him to move on to. Maybe he should pass it on.
His race is run. He's run his race.
Yeah.
Just be nice to Han Solo, please.
Han Solo's also died.
Yeah, just be nice to him now.
He's no longer alive.
It's true. Let's not talk about that right now. Indiana Jones. What's your favorite film in the franchise?
Ooh, I like the Temple of Doom, which I believe was the second one.
I got to be honest. I've never seen
really
any of them.
Indy's dad might have something to say about that.
I know. It's just as insulted as I was about him bad-mouthing English food. Now he is about Indiana Jones movies.
Are you serious? Just go home and watch. You know what? Go home and watch Temple of Doom.
I should.
You won't, but it's okay.
No,
but whenever you have free time and you're like, man, I remember one time we had Indy on that podcast and he spoke too much. Just remember this moment right here. You need to watch.
Temple of Doom.
Got it. I'd say that.
What did it take to get your mom to convince?
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. I was supposed to be Ivan after my grandfather, but my mom was very stubborn and she was like, I don't want to name my kid Ivan. So it was Indiana.
Indiana. Are you also afraid of snakes?
I wouldn't say me and snakes are best friends, They wouldn't be my number one companion if I had to choose,
Fang's going to have some words about that.
No, Fang's cool, though, I know Fang's not going to bite me. Whereas other snakes that are just slithering around, I don't know,
All right, so this person asks questions a lot. Crangus McBasketball.
So Crangus McBasketball?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a frequent flyer on Pod Questions.
Let's do it.
Why do you wear gloves with no long sleeves?
It's just it makes me feel like Diego Costa for Chelsea back in the day when it was really cold outside and he just wore gloves and short sleeve and he was really nasty to play against, So
it's an intimidation thing?
Yeah.
But you're still wearing gloves.
Almost like I want to put myself in his mindset. So if I copy what he's doing, I can now put myself in that mindset, He was a fantastic player.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Good player.
Yeah.
All right. Similarly, Dylan Castro 932. Why do you wear short socks but sometimes long socks? They're really coming for your appearance.
No, and these are all valid questions though. I do switch it up. My socks, I do switch up. I think I've found something that I like.
Oh yeah.
And that's gonna be long socks for the rest of the season.
Oh.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't think I'll wear short socks for the rest of the season unless it gets really, really hot outside and I'm just like trying to get some more airflow on my shins. I think I'm, for the most part, going to wear long socks. So I hope that answers that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be happy to know.
Yep.
Last one from me here, from M Harris 9. What is your favorite memory with teammates outside of soccer? So you said you were close with Tim Parker.
There have been many golf trips that have been very fun. Where players that I played with have shot very low. I don't really partake in. I partake in the golf, but I'm not really there for shooting. I'm kind of just there for a good time.
Right.
And then the other one that comes to memory is when I was with Cheltenham. We won League 2. We had a little party afterwards, which was super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the last 2 questions come from people that you know.
Oh my God, I already know David. Okay.
Yeah, we'll end on David's question.
Okay.
But GK enthusiast Ross Kane, he asked for recommendations for mustache wax, but you said you don't use it.
I don't use any mustache wax. Yeah, I mean,
you need to give him your technique.
I don't know if that's hard. I honestly just do this. I look at this camera, right? I literally just go like this, and for the most part, it might not stay this time, but when I go like this, it kind of just stays there. Is it staying now?
Yeah, it's staying.
Yeah, it kind of just stays there. It just.
Imagine how wild it could get though with some wax in there.
I mean, I agree. But sometimes I do wake up in the morning and like one side's down and one side's up because I'm sleeping on the side. So, but yeah, I don't use any product.
What happens if you like go swimming in the ocean? You just get.
It just like just droops down. It like goes like one of those ones. Yeah.
Last but not least, David Vasquez. Why is Grandpa so handsome?
David, that's a great question. I don't know. I'm not really about the appearance. I'm more about like what's in here, right? I'm more about what's in here.
Good answer.
I don't really care about
really good answer.
What's going on. All his face, it doesn't bother me. It's about what's in the heart. And David's got a great heart.
Wow.
So shout out David. He's very young. David's very young. David's
very young
David's
ones.
David's 19. I'll shout out the academy players who aren't academy players. They're first team players who graduated from the academy. They're very good. The talent that the academy has is honestly like second to none. They're very good. And obviously David and Cav and Quinny and Nathan and a lot of those people, even Jack when he was here, are a testament to that. So that's one thing I've been very impressed with actually. But yeah, thank you, David. David, I love you.
Put that on a billboard. Shout out David. Shout out the Academy kids.
Yep,
And shout out Indy for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
You really enlightened us on all things. What makes Indiana Vassilev the best sports personality in St. Louis City, but now you're in Philly. Maybe you can win that title here.
Maybe. You know what? I think I'd settle for top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah, I'd
All
settle
right.
for top 10.
One question I just remembered that I think I didn't say. Would you trade, let me see if I phrase this right. Would you shave off your mustache to win an MLS Cup?
Yeah, hands down. Next question. It's not even a question.
So will you shave your mustache? The mutton chops. All right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to be in the top 4.
Okay.
You're going to get the chops.
Chops incoming.
Chops incoming.
Chops incoming.
And then we're going to win the cup.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to shave it all off.
All baby faced.
Wow. That sounds fantastic. I love it.
All right.
Great.
And that's a pod. That's a wrap.